in my phone. Although I told them that
own the rights to the music, family. Yes, good God. It's your girl, Nicole, the great motivator, invading your frequency with the truth. Good God, let's go. Who's in the building? Ray. Oh! Let's go! Yes, it's a mentality. Greatness is built. Let's go. Let's go, family.
Girl, don't make me get my tambourine. Okay.
You was about to be
and they're like, what? Or Pop Smoke, okay? Don't play with me.
You know he's with the Lord, okay? He's with the Lord, okay? Listen, thank you, everybody that's tuning in. I'm about to do my watch party, so give me a second. Let me do my watch party real quick. While I'm doing my watch party, I want to let y'all know I have somebody special, and I'm not going to bring in like I do everybody else because we're friends. Like we're friends. Like this is about to be a real how can I say show here? There's no sugarcoating. So corporate Melissa, Heather, all that corporate, we ain't doing none of that right now. We are straight looking, straight belief. Right in ourselves. So while I do the watch party, I want you to introduce yourself, Queen Rain. Yes, good God, hostess with the most.
Everybody, good afternoon. I hope all is well with you all right now. I'm Rain, the hostess with the mostest. I like to say that I'm like the Jill of all trades. You know, I do it all. I think I should do comedy too, you know, but whatever. No, but you know, my girl Nicole, we've known each other for years. We've been through some struggles together. We have gotten each other through some struggles together. And she asked me to be a part of this. There was no way that I couldn't, and I'm super excited. And I'm also honored to even be picked. I mean, just because we're friends, that doesn't mean you pick everybody to. Not every friend to be up on your platform, if you know what I mean, right?
Amen.
But I'm excited about today, and we could just get started. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I shared in during the watch party. I'm from a group called the Black Business Women Network. It's actually head by Wendell Hawkins. He is a gentleman, but you know, he's very open-minded and he's all about uplifting women. And the 49K women in there, they are awesome. You know, and we all need motivation where we can access, because a lot of times we're looking at these big Lisa Nichols, and nothing against them, guys, nothing against them. But you have people that are sitting right under your nose that are Lisa Nichols to you. You understand? So I just wanted to bring you forth to them as a radio host. Please, you know, talk to them about how you was able to find your purpose and your why.
Okay, so it's funny, right? How I got into like radio, internet radio. For many years, you know, I have my personality. I'm always on 1,000. My energy is always on 1,000. And people always used to say that I either need to be on like radio or on shows or whatever the case. And so I had a girlfriend of mine some years back, and she was starting a business, and she was doing a launch party. And so she was telling me about it, and she was like, guess who's hosting? And I'm like, who? And she's like, you. And I was like, what? Excuse me. So that actually birthed the hostess with the mostest, because at that point I knew that hosting events and doing that type of thing, I absolutely love to do. So I wanted to then take that and kind of go a little another direction with it, and then start an internet radio show. And actually I started one with a girlfriend of mine, and then we had an amicable break. No drama. It was just the commute for her and everything. It was just too much. She was coming in from Connecticut. So I decided to continue on and start my own show. And so what I loved about it was that it gave me the opportunity to show a different side of myself. Like, everybody knows me for my personality, always laughing, joking, and always on 1,000. But I wanted it to be a little bit more serious, in a sense where we highlighted people of urban communities who were doing great things, right? Because a lot of the times people in our neighborhoods don't have that platform. And so that's what I was trying to do. Of course, Nicole was a guest on my show.
And no, really quick, you know what's so crazy? Because I wasn't doing this, was I? People don't know the history.
You know, Nicole, listen, let me tell you something. Nicole is another Jill of all trades. One thing, I remember presentable resumes. Don't play with me.
Yeah. You wrote my very first media for presentable resumes.
Yeah, and that was with
you. Thank you.
Connects and her platform. Right. And so little by little, I was involved in other people's platform, and then I started with my own platform. And so now I'm actually doing a new podcast, which is called TruthBeTold, and we're just providing the truth. And so I have a partner who is doing that as well alongside me. And then I've also started a business on my own. I'm still in the infancy stages for that. But, you know, when Nicole was saying that people need motivation, there's times that I need motivation, because when you're starting a company and you're everything, it becomes very overwhelming. You feel like, I questioned myself many, many times over on whether I can do it or not. So, and you know, Nicole, we've had that discussion, you know. And so when you're entrepreneur and you decide to be an entrepreneur, right? You have this thought, and everything's going to be so glamorous, and that's not the case, right? Right. And then you can definitely start questioning yourself, especially when it's becoming time management. Like, I work a full-time job, I have kids, and when you're trying to fit everything in, you have to learn how to celebrate the little goals.
Woo, come on.
One thing done off of your list for that day. Don't get mad if you can get 3. If originally you say, I'm going to get 3 of these things done, but if you got one thing done, celebrate that. You did the best that you could at that moment. And that's what I'm learning to do, is celebrate that and not force anything, and not go so fast. Sometimes everything has to be slow. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
I saw something yesterday that somebody had posted, and it was a personal thing that not like personal where it was personal life, but it was funny, the story that they told. And I'm actually going to tell the story. So this person was building some racks in their closet, right? And when they finished the first rack, they took time to do the first rack, and they put a lot of time and energy and made sure all the anchors and the foundation was really good, right? Right. And then when they got to the second rack, they're like, oh, I'm not even putting that much stuff. It's not that heavy. I don't have to put all these anchors. I don't have to put all of these things. So what happened is, puts both the racks up, puts the stuff on the rack, comes back, and the second rack broke. And he used that as an analogy, because he said, I went fast through this. I didn't want to take the time out that I took for the first rack. Right. I didn't put the anchors that I needed. And so what happened? My foundation was not great. And because of that, everything fell and collapsed. And that spoke volumes to me. And I think that if anybody knows that you have to have a great foundation, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you. Right. You take your time. You know, especially like we're all dealing with things, right? I mean, you know, no one has been through a pandemic. No one.
Right. No one. Depressions, yeah, but not a pandemic. Not as long as I was.
Depression too, right? So I mean, we all. I think everybody at some point in their life has dealt with some type of anxiety, some type of depression. You know, we're human beings. Life happens, right? And so the point is about not staying within that area, right? Like you can feel what you're gonna feel. I've learned that too. You have to learn to feel it. But you have to go through it. Now, to stay within that feeling is where the obstacles get worse.
And challenges, and there you go. So one thing you said that was key, that I normally, you know, a lot of times I come on and I give mentor astuteness, because I try to understand people that I'm a different type of mentor. You know what I mean? I like mental structure. You understand? I like to think in order. You understand? And in decency. And one thing that you said that was very important that I teach here is all about foundation. If your foundation is not solid, you understand, then you will always be built. What you're building would always be liquidy. You understand? It won't be concrete, because once the foundation up under it is gone, then everything that you built on top of it is right collapse. So this is what I say to people, bring us right into it. Good, great. Actualize the manifest. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You're the foundation, right?
Exactly.
Everything you build from you,
Is the
right? So if
foundation.
everything you've manifest can easily be taken, right? If everything you manifest doesn't last, that means who's not solid. So
Exactly.
this is what I want to talk to you about. I want you to tell them about actualizing and becoming the individual that you needed to be in order to be seen as Raina, the hostess with the mostest. Because you know, when we come out, people know us personally. But then when we get serious with business, it's like, ha, you really? You're a mentor, or you're a host now? That's what you want to do now? Talk about that. No,
Exactly.
seriously.
So, for me, when I say, so the hostess with the mostest was coined from that same very friend who allowed me to host her
Event. Mm-hmm.
the event. And so, you question yourself, am I the host of the mostest? Then I had to start realizing when I was hosting these different types of events, yes, I am. Why am I? Because a lot of people, you want to host this type of event, right? And then you go into the next event and you can't host that event, right? You have to know that there's different types of events and there's different ways that you host these events. And so when I
Really?
started to realize that I knew.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. So I never knew that, Raina. Seriously, when they pick different people for the different types of events for style.
You have to, first of all, you have to know your audience, right? So if I was to go
Okay.
into, a media, or let's say something like she had a launch party, and I know the audience, and I know that they're a group of women, and what type of women they are, and I know what would arouse them and make them feel like this is a great host, right? But then if I do something corporate, I can't host that event the same way that I would have hosted that one.
But how do
Right?
you remain true to you? Come on. Oh, this is good. This is
So
good. Come
you
on.
have to learn, right, to change, and you have to learn how to change yourself according to whatever you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people's like, oh, that's not real. No, it is real. All of this is me, right? I have a part of, I could be the serious Raina, I could be the woke Raina, I could be the laugh and joke Raina. But you have to know who your audience is, and you have to know who yourself is in order to, like I said, arouse that audience, right? So if I go into a corporate setting, of course, I'm going to go there suited and booted, and my vernacular is not going to be the same. Like, I'm going to go in there with a totally different, my energy will remain the same, but in the way that I approach and I host will be different. And I think that those are lessons that you need to learn for yourself. You have to learn how to deal with everybody the way that they need to be dealt with. So I think that alone was one of the things that helped me, and then make me realize that I am the hostess with the mostest. I know that I can go into any event. It doesn't matter what type of event it is. I would be able to perform and engage the audience for that, so that everyone knows when they leave that they're going to feel like that was an amazing event. Because a lot of people don't know is that you could have an amazing event and prepare it. If your host sucks, your event sucks. And that's
That's just what it is.
That's just what it is. You can have this elaborate event, but if your host is not engaging, and the people are not feeling them, it doesn't matter all about that. They're like, oh, that's great, but the host is like, they're always looking for somebody who's going to make people feel like that was an amazing event. So I think that's to say that you need to take all of that in anything that you do and say, how can I be the best at this? And how can I be the best at that? And then so that people can receive me in that way. And so
amen.
So
and this is some true change. And a lot of times we can't do the things that we used to do. If you're looking to, would you say when you're an entrepreneur, I see on some people pages, no, you can't show your body. You can't do certain things that you would use to. Would you agree? Because a lot of people feel like, oh, but that's changing me. I think it's bettering you and not it. in a
First
sense,
of all,
change.
I think that there's a negative connotation to change, like the word change. People don't like change, right? And change is necessary. If you had the
Right.
same mindset that you had when you were 20 and you come into your 40s with that same mindset, you have not grown. There should have been some type of change. And so change shouldn't be looked at as in a negative way, right? You should
Right.
look at it as it's growing, right? You're growing through something. You have to be able to make those changes. And yes, sometimes you have to be true to yourself. Like, for instance, when I did Let It Rain radio, you know that I am rough around the edges. That's just me in my natural full state of rain.
Right.
Rain is around the edges. If you were to hear me speak and just around just people who I'm comfortable, you would probably not think that, oh, she's not eloquent. I'm a very eloquently spoken, articulate person. However, in my natural state, I'm just rough around the edges. But I
Right.
have to learn how to change that in different environments. And when I was doing Let It Rain radio, because of the type of show that it was, I dumbed down my roughness and my, I could be a little ratchet. I'm gonna say it, I
Right.
could be,
Listen.
I could be a lot of ratchet. But what I'm saying is you have to learn when it's appropriate to be certain things and how to conduct yourself in different environments. And change is not a bad thing. Change is definitely not a bad thing. But what I will also say about entrepreneurship, a lot of people now, everybody wants to become that, right? But if you have an attitude and you're going to treat your customers with an attitude, because let me tell you right now, people
Come on.
I am tired of trying to patronize people of color's businesses, and your customer service sucks.
Come.
Let me tell you something.
No, moment of silence. Give it a moment of silence. Go ahead. It's a
You
problem.
have to learn customer service. Let me tell you something. I'm one of those people. I'm quick if I don't get customer service. I could go to a place for 10 years and you give me bad customer service one day, and I'll be like, I'm never coming back.
Right. It's that. Oh, come on. I'm about to break it down. So I want you to finish because you know how we do. We
Yeah,
feed.
because
So go.
you have to learn, because I'm one of those people. Let me tell you something. This is where the Heather comes in. I be like, where's your manager? Can I speak to your manager? Because what I do believe is that I understand that they say sometimes customers are not right all the time, right? But if you are trying to make sure that these people stay with you, you have to do some stuff that you would probably not do on a regular day in the middle of the street with someone, right? This is your customer,
Amen.
right?
Amen.
Customer.
Amen. Come on.
But you have to have customer service, and there's too many of us out here who want to be an entrepreneur and don't know what customer service is.
Because they haven't, but this is the thing. The reason why they don't know what customer service is, customer experience, or customer care is because they don't want to actualize in who they are. So you feel like you're entitled because you went and got an article of incorporation. You went and got an EIN. So now you're in business, you're a boss, but you're not feeding anybody. Hold on. But you're a boss, right? And now you want to tell somebody because you sitting in a chair not understanding that you're supplying a need. Okay, you are supplying a need.
Hello.
So this is another reason why I wanted to bring you on, because this is what I want to touch. I want to say thank you to you, because there are a lot of our own that get platforms like you and they don't promote individuals like us. See, that's another thing. We don't promote each other. Not to go off the customer service, we're gonna come back. But this is why you're necessary. This is why, and I'm throwing it out there, and I always get on you about this, but it's gonna push you to do your own thing, because we don't have a major radio outlet that highlights our voice. You hear the Angela Rise and the Al Sharptons and P. Diddy, and then all the people from TV. They have their radio outlet. They get their voice. Cardi B speaking for the people. Hold on. Not that I have anything against her now, but we done gone too damn far. Okay? speaking for the people, but there's no outlet for individuals like myself who was in the trenches, sat on community boards,
Yep.
did campaigns for the borough president, ran my own business since 1997 to give us a voice that God prepared us for the entrepreneurs. So I need to let them know. I want them to know more about TruthBeTold. Are you going to bring back a platform for us to be seen? Because if we got to pay, and I'm putting it out there, see, in the airwaves, because a lot of times we want something, we're willing to come for free, but we don't want to put nothing to it, but we want to get something from it.
Okay. And you're absolutely right, right? So this is I'm gonna touch on two different things, right? So of course that's what we plan to do, because truth be told is a little different than what I've had before, but
Right.
we want to bring the truth, right? We're
Right.
bringing people's truth, and this is an environment for people to your truth may not be my truth, but this is an environment for people to speak their truth. So of course we're definitely highlighting and providing a platform for our brothers, our sisters, our people of color who don't necessarily have this. And I want to touch on, actually, this may be three things, right? So that was one of the main reasons that I started any of my shows, right? Because I wanted to be able to highlight people who don't necessarily have that outlet or that platform for
Right.
somebody to allow them to show what they're doing or whatever great things that they're doing within their communities.
Right.
And so I think that that's an issue a lot of the times, especially in our communities, because I feel like if people think that what you're doing is too close associated with what they're doing, they don't want to have anything to do with you, because they deem you as competition. Let me explain something to you. There are trillions of dollars that go around this world on a daily basis. There is enough money for everyone.
Right.
Stop looking at your people as competition and
But we
looking
want
at partnerships, right?
Right. Come on.
Okay. Secondly, I had issues with me just being a host. I think I'm a super dope host, but because I don't have a certain following on social media, right? People don't want to post you as or hire you as their host, because they're looking for somebody who has a certain amount of following, and they can't host nothing. You know, like they're just showing up. Like, I'm not a person who just shows up at an event and just sits there and then says hey to the people, and then that's it. No, if you let me get the mic, and I'm gonna work with the DJ, and we're gonna have a blast. But see, people don't understand that, because they want you to have this certain following and this certain certain people knowing you, or a certain type of clout, or a certain type of a celebrity, and that's unnecessary, right?
Right.
Especially, and if we're holding each other down, I don't care if you got 5 followers. Listen, okay? If you are great at what you do, I'm going to hire you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to show your skills. And I think that that's another thing that we need to learn within our communities, especially when we're supporting each other. We can't sit here and say that we're supporting each other and we're doing all these things, and you're not providing people the opportunity, right? The opportunities to get those followings, right? Because the more events that you do, the more people like you, right? You're not even providing an environment or a foundation or a platform for these people to get that.
Amen. Come on. Come on.
So I think that, you know, of course, you have to also be careful, right? With it's all about discernment as well, right? Because you can't always allow everyone, right, access to your platform. Not everyone.
I'm learning that now.
Not everyone comes with great intentions.
Right.
Not everyone has good spirits. So you have to learn discernment, right? You have to learn how to pick and choose, but make sure that you're picking from the pool of people that you need to pick from the environments that you need to pick from. Right. Because like you said, all of these other people, Diddy, all of these, they all have their platform already. You think that Diddy will come to TruthBeTold? Let me tell you something. I'm going to say this right now. I know at some point I'm going to be a household name. And if somebody with a small podcast show like the one that I have right now said, would you come to my show? I'm going to say yes.
Right. Right. But you know what? Let me just say this. Did a lot of people start off with that though? A lot of people go, oh, I'm for the people that start like me. And then when they get there, then all of a sudden you don't do what you say you said you was going to do. Now, listen to this
Mhm.
too. It's always two sides to the coin, right? But I noticed that the reason why a lot of celebrities or stars or people of influence act a certain way, because there's somebody in the bunch that ruined it. Because, like, for myself, okay, I'm gonna be honest, for myself, it's getting to the point where I'm like, I don't want to charge people for the nuggets I give, but then we go overboard. We willing to take what Nicole is sharing, but we don't want to share her stuff. We don't want to pay for certain things, but we're willing to listen to Nicole. We're
Uh-huh.
willing to take Nicole nuggets, go far, but not support anything that she does.
See?
Come on.
Let me tell you, because that's real right there. That's actually real, because what I do believe is at some point you do have to charge for the knowledge and the gems that you're dropping, right? You just
Right.
have to know, you have to know what to give for free. And then you can say, and if you like what I'm telling you, you could purchase this masterclass. You
Right.
have to learn, right? To
Right.
what to provide as a freebie and what to keep. Because at the end of the day, you know, I know your heart, right? You want to give
Right.
everything out for free, right? But rent is coming, you got bills coming, you have a child in college, you still need to be able to make money off of that. Like for me, for instance, when I used to do my shows, if I invited a guest to my show, I wouldn't charge them to come to my show.
Right.
But I tell you what I would charge a person who's asking me to come to my show. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why is because you want to come to my show to promote your stuff, right? I'm
Right.
not giving no free promotion to anyone unless I choose to. So if you ask me to come to my
Right.
show, oh, can I get up on your show? I've heard that so many times. People have reached out to me, and I'll ask them, and these were friends of mine. Let me ask you something. Have you even saw one of my shows? Have you even
Woo!
taken time out to sit down and log in and watch any of my shows? But you want to come on my show,
Right. 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 Come on.
right?
Come
Right?
on.
So you have to learn discernment as well. You know, and if this person has a product, right? You can learn how to barter. You may not have to pay me monetarily, right? But there should be some type of exchange somewhere as well. You know, I want
Right.
to promote my book. Are you giving me a book? Did you
Right.
give me a book for free to read? You get what I'm saying? And so this is what I'm saying. Like, okay, when you go to all of these other, when these celebrities go to these talk shows and they have a new book, this show already has money coming out of the ass. They're not looking, right, for you to pay them to promote your show, because you being there promotes their show because you have a
Right.
certain, you're a certain celebrity. But when you are dealing with it in grassroots, and this is where we're at, you have to learn that there should be a give and a take, right?
Right.
At some
Even
point,
exchange.
it's
Right.
not everything is a give and a take, but there should be a certain understanding that, you know what, if this person is providing me this platform, the least I can do is this, right?
Right.
The least
The
I can
least.
do is
Right.
that, right?
Right.
Oh, I can promote this show, but you only want to promote the show that you're on,
Right. 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 Right.
right?
Right.
You can't
Understandable.
do that. You can't do that. You have to be able to know that you want support, then you have to give support, right?
Right.
And that's just the
Right.
bottom line. You have to
Bottom
learn how to
line.
give, you have to learn how to, like another thing, like entrepreneurs, right? A lot of times people may come to you and ask you questions, right? And I've noticed that some people don't want to answer certain questions. And I as I understand it, that some people felt like, listen, I did the research and development. I did all of this stuff, and I'm not just going to give out this information. You should do it on your own as well. I agree with that. I'm not
Right.
saying, if you know that this person is also doing that, but it's like, I don't know who to choose from. Is there somebody you can recommend for me? Stop
Right.
holding somebody back because you felt that you got this information on your own and you don't want to give it out.
Right. I don't like that either. Right. Right. I understand that. That crab in the barrel mentality. Oh, and it is in a sense a crab in the barrel, because it's like, oh, I had to go through all this. You want to watch them suffer the way you suffered. And the whole point of you getting through is so you can help someone else get through.
And not suffer the way that you did.
You
Sometimes you
suffered. Right.
suffer for somebody else. Like
Right.
you go through it for somebody else. It's not always, and don't get me wrong, I understand that, because I hear a lot of people say, you know, I do all these things and I can't stand, like, when people, like, if they're like, say for brand management, and they're like, you know, people are be like, oh, you know, let me pick your brain about something. And I get it. That's somewhat disrespectful. You know that this is the person's bread and butter, right? But I think that there's also some stuff that you can provide as a freebie. And then, you know, if they want more and say, well, then, you know, you're getting more in depth, and you'll probably have to take my master class.
And you know what? That's where I'm at. I'm more, you know what?
Why should I?
Right. There you come on, sis. Come on, sis. You look, I'm gonna tell real quick. You like J-Lo to the third degree. Yo, listen, y'all better back me up here. Don't she? I'm sitting here like, damn, I'm sorry. You know, because I know you, Raina. Like, I know who you are. I'm like, damn. Like,
I get that just because I'm Puerto Rican.
No. It's not because you're Puerto Rican. Yo, Rain, you really look like this chick. I watched her thing with the dancing. I was like, no, that's my friend. Like, you bitch, excuse me, you J-Lo? You know, we real friends. You know how we talk. Excuse me, sorry, because we, listen, that's how we talk. Let me find out you J-Lo and didn't tell me.
Hello, that's my cousin. She's my cousin.
Like, to get serious, guys. No, you know, Raina knows me. I love to give. You know, I'm a little unorthodox. I love my friends. Let me just say, by the way, because I know they figured out, like, yo, this girl is crazy. But I love them because they know my heart, and I love to give. But like you said, you know, it comes a time when, and you know, I'm a little unorthodox. I call you out, and that's another thing with me. You can't call people out. Entrepreneurs, do you agree? You can't call them out. We can't be emotional. You just gotta learn.
That's hard for us, honey. That's very hard,
especially growing up from with. But because when you're a person that wear your heart on your sleeve, you are emotional. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I agree 1,000 times over. 1,000. So, when you care deeply, and I feel that you know, just us, because of where we grew up, right, and then what we've gone through in life, right, we want not only to provide knowledge, but we want to provide protection. We want to protect our people, right?
Come
and a lot of times, there's some people who need a spanking. Not literally, right, but they need a spanking from life to understand and appreciate the gems and the jewels that you're dropping to them.
Come on. I've
been there myself, where life had to spank me and be like, excuse me. And I just, sorry, I got my mind right. But I think that we all go through that. I think that we all have that, you know, we go through these different levels of life, and we all need to know that that's just what it is.
And you know what? Take the lesson and learn, and don't be fearless and unapologetic about your growth. I think that's when people look at me like I'm really fearless and unapologetic about my growth. I'm cool with my weaknesses because you learn to turn them into your strengths. And even, you know, and they become your strengths not because you perfect them, but you learn to deal with your weakness. See, when you know your weakness, you'll know, okay, can't really do that, or I need to prepare myself before I do that.
Exactly.
You agree?
I agree 100%. And I also, one of my issues was, I guess, pride, in a sense, right? Because I never asked anyone for, I never would want to ask anyone for support, right? So the first time that I've actually asked people to support something was recently, when I started the TruthBeTold page, and my partner was like, we need to get our following up. And I'm like, he was like, you know, send it to your peoples. And I'm like, that's not what I do. And I had to come out of that box and that comfort zone, and just sending people DM and just asking them, hey, can you support my new show? That's not something I've ever done. You know, I would post, like say if there was an event that I was doing, if there was something that I was hosting, I would post what I was doing. And I got a lot of slack from a lot of close friends of mine saying, How come you didn't tell me? Or I'm like, well, I put it up. And they're like, well, you didn't tell me directly. And I'm like, well, listen, I put it up. And if people choose to support me, they do. And if they don't, they don't. And I'm learning that there's nothing wrong with asking for support. There's nothing wrong with it.
I think it comes with a grain of salt, because when people say they proud of you, this is another thing. We're gonna get funky. We're gonna get funky right here. And I'm gonna say, excuse my language, because no, it's right in my spirit, because I'm really trying. I want to change the cursing thing. Like, I'm so adamant about that. Like, it's just too much. Like, I can't. It's to the point where I can't take it myself. And then a 4-year-old named Nevaeh was watch my lives, and she was like, "Why were you using bad words?" Like, yeah, she checked me. Had her mother call me. No. Had her mother call me, put me on the FaceTime. It was like, why was you using bad words? So I said to her, I'm sorry, I got a potty mouth. She was like, I'm watching you. So ever since she did that to me, it's like my spirit has been really uneasy about this cursing.
It's funny you say that, because I feel the same way. And now that my sons are 17 and I hear them curse, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I wasn't the best example, but you just not fit to be cursing in front of me like that. Sir, And my mouth is just as filthy as yours when it comes to cursing. There's times I don't even realize. Somebody be like, damn, you had to say that many curses? I'm like, really, how many did I say? Curse? Because it's so natural, right? And so
yeah, it's this actualizing. That's why you can manifest the world. You can have a million, but if you don't become the person that you want to be, you know what I mean? Like, I can have a million cars, but it gonna stop me from this potty mouth and walking into an appointment and saying, "What up?" They be like,
you ever caught yourself like in church, like, yes, Lord, that's what the hell? And you about to be like, I'm talking about. You like, oh Lord, I'm sorry. Let me tell you how real it gets. There's times that I've been praying and the F-bomb. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it, Lord. You not just be talking to you like you my friend, because you are my friend and you my father. Forgive me for using potty mouth while I'm praying to you. So yes, that's when you know it's bad, when you use a curse word and pray.
But you know what? That's when, let me tell you something. And this is how I know being you is what the Most High loves, because that's what he could work with. Because he's upstairs laughing like she can't even help herself. She's praying on the F. You know what? The thing is that as long as you go in and saying, listen, this is my kryptonite, Father. Like, this is my kryptonite. He's gonna come through and be like, okay. And this is when people say, oh, I'm highly favored. That's what I tell you. Don't brag about being highly favored. Do not brag about that. Okay? Because God may let you slide. Don't mean you highly favored.
He will bring that down a notch. Like, because what I realized is, first of all, what I realized too is that as much as, because I always tell people, about I'm blessed and I'm a blessing. But when I get into details about how blessed I am, I realize that something wrong may happen with something I spoke out. And I've learned now to keep things to myself quietly, right? And that was a hard lesson, because believe me, I knew this for years, that I needed to stop. What is it? Stop casting, I'm gonna use this scripture, Lord, pearls against swine, right?
Swine. Okay, yes.
I'm saying it verbatimly. Everybody who's read the Bible knows what I'm talking about.
Amen.
And you have to learn that you cannot share everything with everyone. And even if it's a blessing, like, you want to praise God and say, thank you, Lord, for my blessing. Sometimes it's just for you to go in that room or wherever you at and directly thank him for your blessings. There's not everything has to be a testimony onto everyone else. And the reason why is because there is jealous and envy out there. And, let me tell you something. It happens. You be like, everything was going right, and this one thing went wrong. How? Why? It's not seeing you blessed the way that you're being blessed.
my son, we're going through this right now. We got, and let me explain something to people. When you're on assignment, when you are purposed and you have an assignment, know that you're always fighting, right? Because that's what I had to realize too. That's why you can't say everything. That's why, and when I realized that the enemy is the prince of the air, because it travels. That's when I come through and I say I invade your frequency with the truth, right? At first, I kept doing that, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm fighting, but I didn't understand what I was doing. So now I'm invading the frequency with the truth, and I'm saying it out my mouth, and then something tragic had happened. My dad in the hospital, my son, something, and I'm crying. And then God comes to go, you just finished invading the frequency with the truth. Understand that even if you're going to be happy about it, you got to know how to fight the enemy.
Facts.
You have to know how to fight. I have to learn that, okay, because I'm not as swift and gifted yet in fighting the enemy in every arena, you have to keep your mouth shut.
Exactly. Just goes to show, like about a week or two ago, DMX posted this live that he did, and it was amazing, right? Because I always said DMX has a calling on his life.
He does.
Right? He should be whatever. But needless to say, I reposted this video, and so many people reached out to me and were like, oh my God, Rena, I needed that so bad just now. Thank you for posting that. And I'm like, listen, I'm just being a vessel because I felt in my heart that I needed to post it. The next day was not a great day for me. But I knew I had discernment to say, okay, Lord, I know I'm going through what I'm going through right now because what I posted yesterday. So many people needed that yesterday, and the enemy is mad at me. So he fight me today. Good. Let me get down on my knees and pray, because this is just what it is. And so I think that people have to learn that as well. That you're going to be, the enemy is not going to allow you to just provide all of these blessings and these testimonies to everyone without him saying, oh yeah, well, you're going to have to pay for that one. And it's all good,
Right. And that's the thing. That's why I tell people I come through here. You haven't seen my lives lately. I'm raw. I've been doing this. I come through crying nose. I be blowing nose. You understand? I try to tell people, and Rain is a witness on other levels, that I fight in the spirit. Like I'm a fighter in the spirit. You know what I mean? And I tell people, if you're going to call me, get ready for your ear to come off. Right now, I will I will speak to that soul. I go right past your flesh.
Damn.
You'll be like, Ray was like, I ain't come here to cry. I didn't come out here to cry. I didn't come to cry. Okay? Because it is necessary that you have people in your camp that don't just talk to be talking.
Exactly.
That discernment is important, because listen, you got to know who you can have your cup overflow with. Because when God blesses you, he wants you to be seen, but with the right energy.
Exactly.
So I want you to elaborate on that, in us being, and also with us being friends, meeting in the park when our kids were 2 and 3. Come on. Coming from the same neighborhood.
Yeah, I had my suit on from work, and we just happened to be, and we were both in college at the same time. We just happened to, Nicole and I had the same energy. We loud. This is what we are. I mean, when we come into somewhere, people know. Like, even sometimes at work, people be like, I know you was here. I knew you was out yesterday because I didn't hear nothing back there. Okay, so we just have this energy, and so we just gravitated to each other. And since then, it's just like we have helped each other out in so many different issues. And let me tell you, when I say she is real, she has put me in my place about a lot of things. Like, yo, I see this, and this. And I'm like, well,
I love you.
I'm like, well, damn, you gonna keep it the raw truth? I'm talking about raw truth. And those are the type of people that you need, especially in entrepreneurship, right? Those are the type of people you need that are going to say to you, you don't need that friend that's going to be like, oh, you don't have to do it that way. That's fine. Somebody to pull your coat and be like, yo, you wild, you bugging out.
Right.
You are not on. You're not doing the way you need to. You're not on the assignment that was given to you. This you need or pull you, and be able to be that raw and regular with you, because that's what Nicole has been for me.
I love you though. I love you though.
I be leaving like, why is it that I'm crying? I wasn't booger snot crying sometimes too. I'm talking about booger snot crying. Like, you got tissue?
You need to be a comedian. You know what it is? It's because I love hard and I see what God sees. People may not believe that, because I get how Jesus walked around and people was like, you ain't the son. Because I'm like, I'm saying, I see what God sees. And people like, you ain't saying nothing.
You know what? I think, and this is what I've always seen and I said about you. I think that people, because you're so passionate, a lot of it gets for people, sometimes it gets lost, because they look at you like, oh, she's just another like extreme activist. And that's not what it is. If you get to know Nicole, she loves so deep and so hard. That is why she is so passionate. That is why she comes across the way that she comes across. And guess what? She is not for everybody. That's another thing you got to learn, especially in entrepreneurship. You or your product or whatever you're doing, it's not for everyone.
You're right.
You have to find out who it's for. And so Nicole, a lot of the time, people see her and from a distance, and they don't know her. When you get to know her, you understand why she's so passionate. You understand why she comes and provides so much information. And every time you turn around, she's on a panel, she's doing this, she's doing that. Why? Because she knows her purpose.
Amen. 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 I love, but you know what it is? It was people like you. Let's bring it back, because we're going to celebrate each other. You gave me opportunities to walk in my purpose. Let me explain something to you why I'm bringing certain people through. Certain people, okay? Certain people. Not that, all people that I bring through gave me an opportunity, because I love power. I like to see people in their own right. I do big up people in their own right. But the reason why I'm doing this for the 49K women in there is because I speak about environment and I speak about your energy and protecting it. And I don't speak to you every day. I'm not one of your best friends, but know that you are dear to me and I love you because of
friends. Okay, we close friends though.
Yes, we sisters, because we have a purpose. And God showed me who you were, not your surface, not who you are because of what the world did to you. Mm-hmm. You understand? He let me in, and I had to be okay with rain, understanding that I truly sit with God. There was a time where I felt like I really didn't. I didn't want to feel on a pedestal. Don't put me there. I didn't want to be up there, but God was like, I chose you. I'm not a churchgoer. So he chose me. So when it came to people like you who love me for who I am, understood me, and then allowed me to expand myself, yes, definitely it was you that allowed me to say, I am Nicole. It was your platform. Let it rain. It was all your platform. I don't care what platform you was on. I don't care where you was at. Us going to say networking. You being who you are, not jealous, not envious, respectful, courteous, and all these other things allowed me. So this is what I want to say to people. You got to be around people that allow you. Come through, God. You have to be around people that allow you. Do you understand? Exactly. She allowed me to be, she allowed me to change, she allowed me to come to. And I don't want to go on because I'm going to get emotional. Because that's I am.
Look, I was like,
I'm about to get emotional.
I'm prepared for you, because I know you always, every time we have an encounter, I'm fitting to cry or something. So I had this on deck. Don't play with me.
Listen. Because I need everyone to understand, if they're not allowing you, we're so busy wanting people to accept us instead of looking for people that allow us. Like, allow me to be Nicole so I can change.
Exactly. And not only to allow you, but for you to be able to be as real. That's when that's when you have a true friendship, right? Is when you know that you could be real and say, listen, I need to pull you aside, and I think that you're doing like this and this is what I see, right? For you to be able to be so honest with your friend that they don't get it. They may be a little offense, like, oh, I they don't take what you said in a negative manner. They take it more in a reflective manner, right? There's a
Amen.
difference. There's a
Amen.
difference. When somebody tells you something and you take it negatively instead of being reflective of it, right? To say, you know what? Maybe she's right. Maybe she's right. And those are the types of people and friends that you need around you, especially as an entrepreneur. Let me tell you something. We're going through something right now in the world that no one has ever gone through. This is all uncharted territory for everyone, right? And there were so many times that I was seeing like memes that say, oh, if you're not if you're not getting your life together during this quarantine and this, then this, you know, it was not ever about anything else. It was always about you. Maybe that's true in some cases, and maybe it's just that we're dealing with a whole bunch of different things in a different way, and everybody deals with things differently. Okay, don't beat yourself up, but when you're convicted in your soul and saying, I know I'm not living up to what I'm doing, and I know that I'm not, then that's when you need to change yourself. But don't be so hard on yourself that you think everything is supposed to be like speeding, like speed of light. Right. Things happen, like when they said you plant a tree and plant some fruit, right? You're not gonna have your fruit right then, right? You gotta wait to harvest. You gotta wait till all those roots start moving, and you put that fertilizer and you put all these
come on.
Blossoms, you know, it blossoms out, whether it be a fruit or a flower or whatever. So everything takes time. And I think that right now, because of social media and you see other people doing things, that we feel like we're on this time, like everything has to be within this time frame. No, as long as you are working towards the goal, you are on time.
Amen. 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 Period.
And I was talking to myself. I was beating myself up for months. Remember, I spoke to you about this business that I started, and I felt like I wasn't doing everything. But what was happening to me at the same time? My sons were senior year of high school, about doing college applications, and I was realizing that I was doing the best that I can. But I also can be honest and say that there was days that I had nothing but time, and I was like, let me wash the dishes. Oh, do I have? Because I was avoiding, right? I'm going to say this because I'm going to keep it 100 with you ladies. I was avoiding doing the task that I needed to do for my business because I was doubting myself. It was my own insecurities. Can I do this? Can I manage this on myself? Am I going to fail? Am I going to be, is it going to be so great that I cannot, you know, like I went through all of these different things. And now I'm just learning to piecemeal my stuff.
Amen.
And you know, there's people who work faster than me or who are more driven and more ambitious. That doesn't mean that my end goal won't be the same as theirs.
Amen. Come through, because you know who you are. And not that they more, no. And let's correct that. Their situation may allow them to be more ambitious, more driven. Because sometimes in our situation, like with me, I had to learn, you can't do what everybody else can do. You take care of two parents. No one is going to understand. People can sympathize, but no one really will understand what I deal with, because no, you're not taking care of two parents and having to think. So I had to learn, Nicole, you can't do what other people are doing. It's not that they are making you. It's nothing going on outside in the world that's stopping you. You just got to realize that you can't move the way you used to move. See, some of us are going to sit down. One thing about our counterparts, I learned. I was working at Dean Witter Reynolds when I first got out of high school, okay? This white lady, she shopped twice a year. You know, I looked at her like she was stupid. I was like, who shops twice a year? But today, now mind you, I said I did this coming out of high school. I'm 44 today. Today, it makes sense why she shopped twice a year. This lady always had money in her bank account. Her house was about to be fully paid for. She didn't ask nobody for nothing. And she looked stress-free.
Exactly.
So what I realized is exactly what you're saying in maturing and growing, is that people have to understand is in actualizing, when you're going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, know that you're going to look totally different from when you was a caterpillar. So you have to change. You got to sacrifice. You can't spend.
Nope. And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And you have to know that everything is, there's going to be some failure. And that's a problem for me. I have a problem with failure. I have a problem with, I'm going to be honest, staying focused on one task. Sometimes I like to claim it, but I'm like, do I got ADD or whatever? Lord, why can I focus? Or I go for one thing, I start one thing, and then I start the next thing, and I didn't finish the next thing. I learned to start just doing, focus on that one task, and don't get off of it until you do the next thing. Right. And I've had people say, like, oh no, sometimes maybe that task will take too long and you could get other things done. Let me tell you, every advice that you get from everyone does not work for you. It's good to get advice, but only use advice that you know is going to work for you. I've learned that to learn what to take and what not to take. I know me. If you are true to yourself and you know yourself, I know that I'm the person that I have to sit here and wait until this is done before I go to the next. And that's for me. That may not work for everybody else. I'm great at multitasking, but not everything should be multitasked, right? Because when you multitask, some shit that you, excuse my language, some stuff needs more time than others. And if you're multitasking, you may not be giving the amount of time to one particular thing that you should be doing. So you have to do all of these different things.
Come on. Yo, no. I'm going to repeat that. Nah, yo. No, because that was it. You have to know what requires your undivided attention from what you can just multitask with. That is the most important thing. And when you are a thinker, you think you can handle everything. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And then when something fall in between the crack, you're hard on yourself, forgetting the fact that, no, is it right or wrong? You're like, oh my God, what I do? You're like, but that alone takes 65% of your brain, boo.
Exactly. So,
Rain, you came through and dropped some, you dropped it like it's hard. They on here. They are on here like, I'm trying to post as much as I can because I'm on 2 different ones. So I'm in the group and they like, this is good. Thank you, ladies. Retrieving and receiving. I would love
information to this group so I can join it as well. I mean, I'm on Facebook a lot, but I definitely would love to join the group.
Absolutely. There, and especially going in there, a lot of women, I support a lot of women in there. You have boutiques, they got some nice stuff. You got women that make jewelry. Like, hold on. You see me, right? I'm always promoting some damn body.
Yes, you are. I heard when you did with Lucinda Cross, shout out to my other sis, and I saw all this stuff promoting, and that lipstick was super cute that you could like put on a chain. I was like, excuse me.
Wait a minute, cause I got her book.
Let me tell you something. I was reading that book and I lost it on a train. I cannot find it anywhere. Let me tell you something. I just pushed my whole bookcase apart. I can't find it. I had to have lost it. I can't find the book. No,
you gotta get you another one.
I'm gonna buy it again.
We need to do a book club. I think I'm gonna start It's a Mentality book club. So people need to exercise their mind, like get into your thoughts, like understand why you think the way you think. But real quick, as we going over, see, I got this from Penny. Let me see.
Oh, that's super cute.
You see it? Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, honey.
Look.
Ooh.
Wait. Yes.
I like that. I love those colors too.
She's dope. Ellen Proverbs. Her name, I'm gonna at you so you could look at her stuff. Okay, on her page, I'm gonna invite you to the Black Business Women Network. The admin is Wendell Hawkins. He's very, very nice, very interactive with his group. The women in there are awesome. Now, like I said, we know who's for us. Okay. Yes. And they learned early. I will go live on you. You play with me. Okay. I don't play, but
you will full blast. Okay.
They They done got it. Listen, when Dell done had to, listen, Rain, when Dell done had to delete one of them, like, woo, that's a lot. Yeah.
I could only imagine, honey. I could only imagine.
But I curved it because I love me some Wendell. And this is another thing, you got to respect people. I could be cocky and be like, oh, he didn't. No, this is his platform. He know what he won on there. So I made sure I sent an apology and make sure I watch it. But at the end of the day, they're going to learn. I will go live on you.
Uh-huh. And sometimes people need to be going live on, like, excuse me.
So I just wanted to show you that from Ellen Proverbs. I want you, I think I should do like a I am team or a club and send y'all a bracelet. Because I am, it means I am Rain. I am Nicole. The I am, boo. I am.
It's in the Bible, right? It's in the Bible, and it tells you, right? Start speaking what you speak. Watch your words. Watch your words, ladies. I'm learning to, even in my prayers, instead of when I pray, I don't even ask for this not to happen. I just say I ask for the opposite to happen. Okay. Right?
Got you.
So instead of saying, Lord, please don't let this happen, I won't say that. I say, Lord, please let this happen.
Amen.
I'm not even giving the negative any talk.
Got you. Nice. So give them your handles. Let them know where they can find you, Sips. We coming up on the end of the hour, and then we out of here.
Okay, so on Instagram, my personal page is Rain711. I also have Rain, the hostess with the Mostest, and that is, everybody's like, how you spell Mostest? I spell Mostest Mostest. So, and then Truth Be Told, please follow. That's my new podcast. We're doing great things there. So it's Truth Be Told podcast, and the B is without the E. Just to let you know. And so that's about it. And on Facebook, I think I'm Rain KF. Rain KF.
Yes. Rain KF. Listen, ladies, if y'all have events, we're about to open up, but even online events, Rain is available. To just let her know. Hostess with the Mostest, get in touch with her. It's right there. Truth Be Told podcast. Make sure y'all go subscribe. That's what's the link?
And we also have a YouTube channel. Same thing.
Right.
YouTube. All our stuff is on YouTube as well.
Truth Be Told. Thank you so much, sis, for coming through. And
and I miss you. And the boys are still waiting for us to go bowling. Okay, that's all I just want to say.
Okay, because I'm ready. Like, we could go bowling online.
49K women out there, everybody who chimed in, who saw this, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. I hope to join the group soon. And ladies, please stay safe. God bless you, your businesses, and your families. You take care.
Amen. Follow Truth Be Told. Love you, sis. I'll speak to you soon.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So we're going to take it on out of here. Thank you guys for coming through. Yes. I hope
playing from iPad.
Hey. What a great conversation we had. I love you, sis. Thanks. Hey, you like the way it up? Where y'all at? Hey. Thank you for coming through. Yes. On my show. When it rains, it pours. She likes the way it up. I love y'all. Thank you. I thank you all day, every day for coming through. I'm about mental astuteness. I'm about empowering the masses. And I'm on assignment for fearless and unapologetic spirits pursuing their greatness. I will not stop pouring in. I shall not stop uplifting. You understand? And I will stay on the front lines. Amen. For the Most High. Glory to the Most High. My name is Nicole, the Great Motivator, embedding your frequency with the truth. Make sure you go over to my page and make sure you follow or become a friend at The Great Motivator on all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn is Elevated Mindsets. And what else? YouTube is at The Great Motivator. Make sure you go support each of these ladies that are out here pursuing their greatness and coming on this platform to share with you. Anybody that would like to share what they're doing in motivation and how I came through and probably motivated you, please do not be a stranger. Inbox me. It's thegreatmotivator@gmail.com. Billie Jean.
Should be all the yo. I'm up in all the stores.
When it rains, it pours. She like to wait up. Hey! I'm so happy. Thank you, Queen, for coming through. Deborah, Brianna, yes. Who came through? Judy, Joy, Catherine. Come on now. Naya, love you, baby. Thank you for coming through. Come, sis, I love you. Katrina, thank you for coming through. Marva, Keena, Candice, D'Amica, yes. Alana, we appreciate you. Quit shit, cute shit. I like that. I hope I said it right. Hey, Alana, yes, I said you already. LaShonda, Samantha, Brianna, Tabit, yes, good God. Sabra, Cassandra, Maisha, Shelly, Missy, Cece, Sharon, Camelia, Jessica, Danielle, yeah. Hey, thank you for coming through.